It's officially iPad time. So the iPads are a big deal right now because the new iPad Pro is the thinnest Apple product ever made. They also announced a brand new iPad Air, as well as a few accessories, a brand new Apple Pencil Pro, and even a new iPad Magic Keyboard, which I'm extremely excited about. So let's unbox them. Wow. Oh, no. Ah, we're exposed. But anyway, let's unbox them all and start with the Air. And if you can't tell, we've got the blue model over here. And listen, I don't know if anyone knows this, but the actual product name is on this wallpaper. Can you see it? It's Air. That's the A, the I, and that's the R. You can't see it?
No, it's art.
Oh God, I'm never taking you guys to a museum. Anyway, let's open it up. All right, so we've got our Air, and we also have some paperwork. Of course, a quick start guide and some warranty, safety information, all that stuff. Now, one thing we are not going to be seeing moving forward, I think with probably all Apple products, is stickers. So it was fun while it lasted, but Apple's really on the whole environmental thing right now. So end of an era. Right? The old stickers value just skyrocketed. Now you can get like $1 for them. But also included with the Air is a 20-watt USB-C power brick and a braided USB-C to C cable. And that's the typical Apple unboxing experience. Very minimal. So let's check out the iPad Air. Ooh, this blue though. Now in terms of colors, we are looking at blue, but it also comes in purple, starlight, and space gray. Now, besides those two colors, here's what's new with the iPad Air. Now, previously there was just the 10.9 inch, but now there's an 11 inch model, so slightly bigger screen, and you have the much bigger 13 inch for the folks who want a larger display. Now, Apple also went ahead and added the M2 processor inside of this guy, which used to be in the previous iPad Pro, and that's basically what the Air is all about. It gets all of the features from like the previous version of the iPad Pro. It gets all like the hand-me-down features. Now in terms of other physical changes, we've got the front-facing camera sitting on top horizontally, which makes sense because if you're using like the Magic Keyboard or anything, I think most people kind of have the iPads in this orientation. So kind of that same vibe we get with our laptops. Now, interestingly enough, on both the Air and the Pro, the camera doesn't sit exactly in the center. It's kind of off by just a little bit. And that's because some of the changes they had to make to accommodate the new Apple Pencil Pro docking. And that's probably something the average person won't even notice. It'll function the same, but it's just interesting. Now y'all know, you gotta see it with me. And in the back, we're still rocking a 12 megapixel rear camera, power button with Touch ID right above it, as well as your volume controls to the right of it. And we've got USB-C over here, and around it, we've got speaker grills for the stereo speakers. So all in all, it's a pretty familiar Air, except we've got that new larger display. And chances are most people are gonna be looking at the Air if they're not trying to drop iPad Pro money. So it is a very nice welcome to have M2 in here because we all know how powerful that is. So quick refresher for you guys. These are all the changes that you can expect with the new Air. All right, now it's time for that new iPad Pro time. Okay, let's try this again. Do you guys see what's on here?
Yeah, I see it now.
Now you see it. It says Pro.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jay, you just saw it. Okay. This is a big deal. The thinnest Apple product ever made. All right. We'll get back to that. What? All right, paperwork, yada yada. Ooh, black USB-C to C cable and 20-watt charging brick. Anyway, whoo. That's ridiculous. No way. It's barely bigger than the USB-C port. Okay, it's thin. So I've got the 13-inch model over here, but there's also an 11-inch. But interestingly enough, the 13-inch model is slightly bigger than the 12.9-inch that it previously used to be. Now with this display, they went ahead and changed everything and it is now OLED, and I'm really excited to see what that looks like. All right, you guys, so we are all set up, and I gotta say, the OLED looks so good. But this is just the home screen. I wanna pull up some actual content so we can see what it really looks like. Oh, should we do Ted Lasso? No, we're gonna do this guy. Jay, have you watched this Monarch show?
I haven't finished it. It's slow, but I got it.
They don't show Godzilla?
I haven't seen any Godzilla.
Oh, no.
I know episode 3. The people there.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Ted Lasso. Dang, that's a clean screen, man. Hold on. So this is a 12.9-inch M2 iPad Pro. This is what I personally use every day, and I gotta compare. First of all, this already feels super thick to me. From just using, oh my gosh. What? Not to mention, it has better thermals. How? But we'll get to that. I just cannot believe how much thinner this is. This is what?
That one is max brightness?
This is max brightness.
That's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. I'm already seeing big differences between the quality of the displays. I mean, I've never looked at this screen and said, man, this is lacking in any area, but this is just another level. Wow, okay. All right, listen, this is not a review. I just wanted to see what the screen was all about. It's pretty incredible. So this is what Apple's calling their Ultra Retina XDR OLED display. Basically what Apple's doing here is they're incorporating 2 OLED displays and using the light from both of the displays to give you increased brightness across the screen. Anyway, let's talk about the rest of the iPad. So in the back, we are now down to a single camera. So this is the 12 megapixel wide angle lens. So before we had a wide angle lens as well as an ultra wide angle lens. It sucks to lose a lens, of course, but nobody's really taking pictures with their iPads. So I'm okay with just having the single lens that in case I need to do something with the camera. And that's not just an Apple thing. If Samsung wanted to take away some lenses from their tabs, I'm okay with that. Tablet. And we got the typical stuff back here, flash, LiDAR, mic, but there's a new sensor over here. It's an ambient light sensor, so it can better detect the ambient lighting around you when it comes to like adjusting auto brightness and that kind of stuff. And like we saw with the Air, the front-facing camera is now horizontal on the side. Very, very happy about, because I use this a lot in landscape. And sometimes my hand blocks the camera, so Face ID tends to get interrupted with that. Now, because this thing has like this super crazy display, they had to give it some juice. And so Apple introduced their M4 chip, which is, we just met M3. But M4 is here, it is more powerful, and it's crazy to see it debuted on an iPad. There are of course like professional apps that you can use to take advantage of it, but it's just surprising to see it here first. Now we haven't talked about it yet, but the iPad Pro also comes now with the nano texture display, something that we saw with the XDR displays, Apple's Pro XDR displays. Now that's an option here, but that nano texture display will cost you an extra $100, and you're gonna need to opt for the 1 terabyte version, which starts at $18.99. So this bad boy can get pretty expensive. I think the most expensive version of this is like $2,300. So if we go for the 13-inch space black, 2 terabytes, yeah, it's $22.99. Whoa. And yeah, if you go for nano texture, $23.99. And if you go for Wi-Fi and cellular, $25.99. You are looking at MacBook Pro money. But what's crazy is that even though this thing has a much thinner body, battery life stays the same. And I feel like we're gonna have to give credit to the M4 being even more power efficient than previous models, because I mean, where are they putting it? All right, but that's the iPad Pro. Those are my first impressions. I am floored by this, but full review coming soon. But now let's take a look at some of the new accessories for these new tablets. And of course, it wouldn't be an iPad video without talking about the Apple Pencil. We now have the Apple Pencil Pro, and you might be wondering what's the difference between these two? Just the box. Apparently, there are 5 different boxes that you can get, and these of course go for $130, which is the same as the last generation. But this is the new Apple Pencil Pro with some new features, so let's unbox it. Some paperwork, quick start guide. Let's see. All right, so this is very much an Apple Pencil, and now it's supposed to be situated a little bit differently. Okay, so it pops up right there. All right, and we're paired. Oh, so there is now a squeeze feature, and you get this little vibration to let you know you're squeezing it. So it actually feels like you're squeezing it. I'm curious though if it works with any native apps. Let's see. Ah, it does. So if I wanted to just pop open my menu from my Apple Pencil, you guys can see a squeeze just brings it up. And this is just cool because on a whim, if you want to change anything, you can just squeeze, change, and select what you want. That's actually far more convenient than I initially thought it would be. I imagine like artists and people who really use the Apple Pencil for a lot of work are gonna love this change. Now here's the thing, these new Apple Pencil Pros will only work with the new Pro and the new Air. So no point in picking this up if you don't plan on upgrading your iPad. Now here's the crazy thing, guys. The Apple Pencil is thicker than the iPad. And over here we have our Apple Pencil 2nd generation, and they're practically identical except for the fact that this is customized by the folks over at Colorware. But let's see how it, oh snap. It wants nothing to do with this. Now Apple Pencil, all that is cool, but I really want to see this Magic Keyboard. This is what I've been waiting for. Oh snap, look at this hinge. That's a completely different hinge. So this is my Magic Keyboard, and the hinge you can see is completely covered with the skin of the Folio. All right, right off the bat, this feels like we're dealing with a MacBook or something. So this is like aluminum, I think, instead of the normal Folio texture that we have over here. Okay, and we've got a bigger trackpad. We've got a function row over here, which I'm super excited about because I really wanted an escape key. That's all that was missing for me over here. But we get all of these other controls as well. Volume controls, the lock, brightness controls, and you still have your USB-C over here if you want to charge it. How far back can we go? That much? And when you close it, oh, interesting. So it gets quite a bit thicker, and we're almost looking at like a laptop here when you've got these together, because you can see the keyboard adds quite a bit of thickness, almost the same amount as the iPad, which is crazy to think about. I don't know, if you wanted to walk around with that paper thin iPad, maybe you might want the Smart Folio. Actually, let's just really quick take a look at that. Yeah, if you just really want it to be super thin, you can just get the Smart Folio. This one works a little bit differently. So you can see it can go like this, you can have it go like that. But honestly, this ain't why we're here. This guy, this is everything I wanted the previous version to be. I'm stoked. I realize we haven't opened that Magic Keyboard, but it's literally this guy right here. So boom, the Air goes right on top. But real quick, in case you're wondering about compatibility, so new iPad is not going to work with the old Magic Keyboard. iPad Air with the new Magic Keyboard, no. So this is basically the iPad Pro Magic Keyboard. I think the name just says Magic Keyboard on the box. Yeah, it just says Magic Keyboard. So just look out for that. If you're not getting the iPad Pro, don't go for the latest one. It should say iPad Pro Magic Keyboard. But sadly, if you already have a Magic Keyboard and you're getting the iPad Pro, you're gonna have to upgrade it. But anyway, these are the new iPads. More videos coming soon. We're gonna be covering this quite heavily on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed because we got a lot to talk about.